Hey guys, what's up? ThisChixGotGame here, and today I'm going to be recording my third commentary. Over this commentary, I just have some random GTA clips that I found that were just kind of hanging out on my computer, so I hope you guys enjoy that. A lot of you in the past have asked me about my most embarrassing moment, and mostly it was a question that I've received to do for Q&As, and I really wanted to do a commentary over it because I figured it was more of a story to be told than a quick answer like in a Q&A. So, and it actually took me a really long time to think of some stories because I really don't get that embarrassed too often. And so it took me a while, but I was finally able to think of some stories, and I actually was able to think of 2 stories. So I'm going to share those stories with you today, and I'm sure I'm probably going to regret telling you these stories, but I'll go ahead and start with the first one. So this one was actually a while back. I must have been maybe 17 or 18, and back then my brother used to play ice hockey, and he played for a team that wasn't very close to where we lived, so my parents were always driving 45 minutes away to go to his games or practices and all of that stuff. Oops, sorry, my phone just went off. So one day, my parents are, off at the rink with my brother, and I was coming home from a friend's house. And so I'm opening the garage door, and I see this creature just sitting in the middle of the garage. And I just started thinking, like, what is this thing? Now, at first, I thought it was a toad. And I start freaking out because those of you that live in Texas, you guys know that the toads here are like huge. I mean, they are just disgustingly big. And one time I actually did step on one when I was coming out of a car. And so I guess ever since then, I always kind of like check around me when I'm stepping out of a car because I just think toads are so gross. So I start freaking out because for whatever reason, I always think too that like toads are gonna jump 50 feet in the air and eat my face off or something. So I was just freaking out because I just hate toads so much. So I call my mom and I'm telling her to call the Discovery Channel because there's a dinosaur in our freaking garage. And she's like, Taylor, what are you talking about? Like, relax. And I'm just like, there's no way I'm going into the house. I'm not getting out of the car. It's not happening. So she tells me to try to get the thing to move or do something. So I hang up the phone and I start kind of revving the engine and honking my horn and flashing my lights and doing all this stuff, and the thing does not move. So I'm kind of moving up closer to the toad, and I realize that this thing looks like it has horns on its head. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? So I start freaking out even more because now it's looking like some dinosaur looking creature thing. I don't know. So I start freaking out even more, and I'm like hyperventilating and having an anxiety attack, and I'm freaking out. So I call my mom again, like in a more of a panic than I already was. And I'm telling her that I'm going to die and she needs to come home. And so anyways, she realizes that I'm totally freaking out. And so she decides that she's going to turn around and come home. And my brother's game hadn't even started yet. So she was turning around for a 45-minute drive to come make sure that I was okay. So finally, I was sitting in the car for 45 minutes waiting because I was not going to get out of the car. And she pulls up, and she's like, where is it? Where is it? And I point to it in the middle of the garage, and she walks up to it, and I'm immediate like, fuck, like, oh my God, she's going to die. She's going to get eaten, like, and then I'm going to be stuck here. She bends down, and she picks up a leaf. And I literally wanted to die. Like, I felt stupid because I just mistook a leaf for some toad Godzilla dinosaur monster. And secondly, I made my mom miss my brother's hockey game because by the time that if she were to have gotten back into her car and drove to the rink, she would have missed the whole game. So I felt so bad and just so stupid. And it's actually really funny because I tend to do that a lot. Like, I'll see leaves on the side of the road and I'll think that it's an animal, and then I'll kind of like freak out. Like if I go outside for a jog or something And you know, there's lizards in Texas, so they're all crawling around in the summer, and, you know, sometimes a leaf every now and then happens to look like a lizard, and I might have a little freak out, and then it turns out it's a leaf. So, I don't know, I felt really stupid and really dumb. So yeah, that's my first embarrassing story. I feel really awkward telling embarrassing stories and then not knowing really how to transition with the rest of the commentary, so... Okay, anyways, so the second, this one's actually a lot more embarrassing than that one. That one I just kind of feel like I sound like an idiot, but this one is actually pretty embarrassing. So my freshman year of college, I used to coach for a high school lacrosse team, or really more help coach out, but anyways. So it was the end of practice, and it must have been 10 o'clock at night, something like that, and we always used to practice at the high school. So after practice one day, I really needed to use the restroom. So I go up to the high school, and they had outdoor bathrooms, but the bathrooms were locked. So I'm thinking, okay, I needed to stop by and get gas anyway, so I can stop and get gas, use the restroom, and then just go home. Well, the gas station that I went to, I'm pumping gas, and I realized that the gas station is closed. So there's no way for me to get inside and use the restroom. So as I'm pumping gas, like, it starts to get kind of bad. Like, I start doing the whole legs crossed, jumping up and down, like, straight up pee dance. I don't know what happened or, like, why this happened, but just out of nowhere, my friend sends me a text message. And I look at the text, and it's a picture. And I honestly do not remember what the picture was, but I just start busting out laughing. I mean, I totally lost it. And the next thing I know, my pants are soaking wet. And I was just like, there's no way that I just pissed myself. I call my friend up, and I'm cracking up. And she's like, it wasn't that funny. And I'm just like, dude, I just pissed myself, and she loses it, and we're just both laughing on the phone together, and it was really funny. And I've actually never told anybody that story other than the girl that sent me the picture, and now I'm putting it on the internet. So yeah, I actually pissed myself at like 10:30 at night at a freaking gas station, so that's pretty awesome, and that happened. So yeah. All I can think right now is I cannot wait to read these comments when I post this video. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I don't know how much I really enjoyed telling embarrassing stories of myself, but you know, that's cool. I like sharing with you guys that I'm afraid of leaves, and I like to pee myself. Well, I don't like to pee myself, it just happened. Okay, anyways, before this gets more awkward than it really needs to be, if you guys want to hear more stories, or, you know, if you want to hear me talk about anything for a commentary, definitely leave it in the comments below. A lot of you have said, you know, you want to hear high school stories. Try to be a little bit more specific, because, you know, high school, there's so many things that happen in high school, so try to narrow it down to one specific story or one specific event that I could talk about. And yeah, I think that's it. So I don't know, I feel really awkward, but I love y'all, and I'll talk to you guys soon.